The empty barrels were surrounded by a cloying red mist, and it had the shrill pitch of red wine, if I wasn't mistaken. One of the empty barrels had a faint magenta trace to it.
Okay. Is that what we need to know? That there's barrels there? I don't know. They use a lot of barrels, that's for sure.
The empty barrels were surrounded by a cloying...
Do I need to, like... Do I need to do this?
Well, of course it was the same scent.
Okay.
Whoever this... Definitely the same scent as my killer, which meant whoever it was made it into the palace concealed in a wine barrel. Why did that bring to mind the phrase, "You wait, time passes," and Thorin sits down and starts
That's
singing
what we
about
needed.
gold.
I think that's what we needed right there. That's what we needed. That's the hint that we needed to be able to get in the wine barrels, my guess. I'm guessing that's it. I hope so. Yep, it was. Okay, that's what we needed. We needed to match scents, so I didn't realize that.
Wait, but it paid off.
I didn't realize we had to wait that long. It's the other problem with this game is it's so damn dark.
I guess they didn't have an open. I guess they didn't.
I don't see any sense in here. Where the hell are we going? I should probably save.
I could hear a conversation on the other side of the door.
No! No! Oh!
The only noticeable scent in the hallway was someone's trail which led to the double doors.
Oh, I know who it is. That's the dude. That's the chief dude guy.
The navy blue. I wasn't sure. I'd found a matching scent. The only noticeable scent... The scent of red wine wasn't as strong as in the cellar, but it was still noticeable.
Okay. Oh, I'll bet you I need to come over here and be a wolf and then use the door. I bet you that's what I need to do.
As a wolf, my hearing was dramatically improved. I could recognize one of the voices as Commander Vimes, and the other voice had the calculating tones of Lord Vetinari, the patrician of Ankh-Morpork.
Are you any closer to a solution for our mutual problem?
No, sir. I've been occupied.
Indeed. And what could occupy you?
There was a string of copycat killings. I've been trying to solve them.
And have you?
No. My lead suspect was killed.
That is very unfortunate.
It certainly was for Lewton.
So there has been no progress in determining who killed Cypher.
Not as such.
I had been given to understand that this was precisely the situation you were well equipped to handle.
I will solve this case, sir. You can count on me.
Do you recall what I said the city reminds me of?
You said it reminds you of a clock, sir.
Indeed. Big wheels and little wheels, all turning at different speeds to keep the machine working. That, after all, is the most important thing. The machine keeps going.
You've told me this before.
Do you know why it keeps working?
Because you want it to keep working?
I'm flattered that you think I have such importance.
Oh, my
But
arm!
no, it keeps running because the people believe it will keep running. Faith is a powerful force.
There is a point to this, sir?
I always have a point. Sometimes it's sharper than others.
I'm sorry. Continue.
One of my clerks has been found face down in a vat of wine, and that makes it appear as if the administration has lost control.
And the administration is me, right?
We are all the administration. You do the work, and I take both the credit and the blame. Provided I do not take the blame, I am content. I trust I make myself clear.
Perfectly.
Suddenly, I could smell blood. It filled up my senses like a night in a forest. Except a night in a forest didn't make me want to tear someone's throat out. I didn't know whether the guard had cut himself or if I was just developing a healthy bloodlust, like any young werewolf. But I couldn't control myself.
Did I just murder somebody? Did I just murder somebody? Okay, I think now we can finish up the
next thing
map.
I knew, I was in my office. I had no idea how I got there, how I got my coat out of the palace, or where I'd got a traffic cone from. It had been that sort of night. I was sitting at my desk, thinking over the case, when there was a knock at the door.
I understand you've been a busy boy, Lewton.
It's a busy life when you're a private investigator. Plus, you get to see interesting
Yes.
foreign places and learn a trade.
There was a commotion at the palace last night. Perhaps you know about it?
What goes on at the palace has nothing to do with me.
Indeed it is not. And if, for some reason, you did take an interest in the palace, I'm sure you would not be so foolish as to be caught breaking into the palace.
Of course not. Think I'm suicidal?
Strange you should say that. I heard you'd been killed.
I expect you hear a lot of things that aren't true. I bet someone has to explain them to you using very small words.
The thing is, the intruder at the palace appears to have been a werewolf.
There's a lot of that around this time of year, I understand. Must be the moon.
I paid my respects to your grave.
Oh, that was nice of you.
It was empty.
Oh, you know how it is. I get claustrophobic in narrow spaces.
So do werewolves, perhaps?
I wouldn't know about that.
Remember when I said how disappointed I was that I couldn't take you out for free?
Oh, that was a very touching sentiment.
Well, Lord Vetinari has generously offered to pay for the inhumation of last night's intruder.
He has a big heart.
It's a shame no one can find it.
Was there a point to your visit?
I was just passing through.
This guy.
Thought you might benefit from my advice.
How generous of you.
Well, I'll be on my way.
The door's behind you. I can explain how to use it if you want.
Watch your steps, Lewton. I will be.
Alright, I see. Alright, we're going back here. I want to know if this solves the deal. Everything's starting to, like, come together now. Like, things are starting to come together. Like, the puzzle pieces are fitting in. I feel like we've done so many things out of order that maybe, like, some things, I don't think we have more moon logics than we should have, but I feel like some things that didn't make sense, fully make sense, make more sense now. But, man, there was definitely some moon logic. Alright.
The murders were marking out a perfect octagram, just like the one that had been used to free Nylonathotep from sunken Leshp centuries ago. If I was right, there would be 2 more murders, one in Dagon Street and one in the Wizard's Pleasance. If I knew which one was next, I could stake it out. In the center of the octagram was the Disc Theater, which almost certainly meant some kind of cosmic evil was entombed there. I can't say I was enthusiastic at the thought of checking it out.
But, oh, it's loading. No, there's stuff.
How did I know if Ilsa was there or not?
What?
How did I know if Ilsa was there or not?
What are you talking about? Just leave. What do you mean, how do I know if Ilsa was where? What?
How did I know if...
What? What are you talking about, weirdo? Let's go here first.
Everyone on the disc, knows the legend of Eleanor of Tsot. Or at least everyone knows a legend of Eleanor of Tsot. Or Krinix. Or El Harib. Ask most people and they'll tell you that she was the cause of the Tsotian Wars. Of course, ask most people and they'll tell you the patrician is a kind and benevolent man. Never trust what most people tell you. The real cause of the Tsotian Wars was a little-known goddess called Errata.
Okay. I can't even talk to this guy. I got a flyer. Okay.
The 8 plays in sequence were The Happy Prince of Copperhaven, Antilogy and Cleopatra, Kensington, The King of Ankh, The Leering King, The Tyrant, Truculus and Cressylic, and Titus Diplodocus. The flyer didn't tell me anything about them, though.
Back to the library. Alright, back to the library. The flyer didn't tell me anything about them, so we have to look them up in the library. I think I'm gonna be done.
Who would say like
when we do this? I don't know how much longer this act is.
I'd like to use the library again.
So
very well. I
gotta go bed.
Away, since it seems the labyrinthine corridor.
I'm starting to feel my arm is gonna fall off soon if I don't stop. I got a COVID shot.
I'd overheard that apparently there are worse ways to go.
I got a COVID shot today and my arm is hurting quite a bit right now. I feel fine, but my arm hurts. I just want to look this up.
I looked up Hwell in the library and found his complete works. In there was a discussion of the 8 great tragedies, Hwell's bloodiest works. From the About the Author paragraph, I learned that Hwell was a dwarf who was banished from his tribe not only because of his claustrophobia, but because of his tendency to daydream. Both undesirable, to say the least, if you work in a mine. 102, and in the prime of his life for a dwarf, Hwell now worked for Vittler's Plays at the Disc Theater as one of the premier playwrights of the day. The 8 great tragedies were given in great detail. 8 plays, each with a collection of murders, usually with one more particularly gruesome or grotesque than the others, presumably for use in publicity trailers. The publicity trailers helped draw people into the theater by being towed around town to display posters. There was something suspiciously familiar about some of those murders.
I knew it. I knew it. Let's go here.
The moon over Dagon Street lit the rundown alley. It didn't look like anyone was around. It was as abandoned as the Octarine Parrot on open stage night.
So freaking dark. Oh my god.
One of the shops in the street was called the Three Jolly Luck Takeaway Fish Bar. I remembered that name from somewhere. Something to do with Mr. Hong. I remember he went missing somehow.
No, that's not good.
The abandoned fish bar was boarded up tight. I couldn't pull the boards off with my hands.
Oh, really? Well, what about with your... What about... Oh, wait, let's use our werewolf stuff. How do we switch to a werewolf now? Oh! Click, you... Do the thing.
I didn't like to transform in the streets. You never knew who was watching.
Yeah, you've transformed in the streets before, dude. Crowbar. And it's still dark.
Amongst the debris, I found a bone that seemed a little out of place. There was a disturbing dark magenta scent in the fish bar, something that resonated with cosmic evil. It scared me. It scared me that anything could have such a disturbing scent. And it scared me that I could tell what color cosmic evil was.
Haven't we seen this scent before?
There was definitely some similarity between the magenta and dark magenta scents, but it wasn't clear to me what that connection might be. There was a It's... The fuchsia scent appeared. There was something about...
Oh, that's a very dark magenta. Alright, wait. Okay.
The bone seemed out of place somehow. I wasn't sure why. I didn't want to take the bone. It was bad enough that I'd been carrying around some dead troll's tooth all this time. Amongst the debris, I found a bone. The fish bar was littered with assorted debris.
A bone. Okay, we found a bone. Good for us. And we can't do anything with the bone. Yeah, this is still Discworld. This is still Discworld. What's this?
The Wizard's Pleasance was a small, newt-haunted meadow in a horseshoe bend in the Ankh, inside the grounds of the Unseen University, separated from it but connected to the university gardens by the Bridge of Sighs. On summer evenings, if the wind is blowing towards the river, it is a nice area for a stroll. I could hide in the bushes, but for how long?
Hiding in the bushes, eh? Interesting.
On a good day, the Pleasance was apparent. On a good day, presumably today.
I feel like the game is dark to make the wolf thing more interesting. That's the only thing I can guess, is that the...
The pompous windbag on the stage was Pravitier. He went beyond being a ham. He had 2 eggs, fried mushrooms, and a gigantic rasher of bacon.
And hey, Austin, I didn't say hey, but hey.
I quickly transformed into a wolf and had a sniff around.
What, with the guy
there
on
was
stage?
An eerie, dark magenta scent in the theater. But what caught my attention was the magenta scent that seemed to disappear into the stage. My murderer had been here.
Marks!
I ran my finger around the marks casually. There was something about them that made you want to trace things on them, like a smiley face or a tic-tac-toe board. Well, something like that. Maybe something a little more sinister. Where the scent had disappeared, there was... I couldn't quite make them out, but they seemed to be a definite shape of some kind.
Ooh. Must have a clue for this one. Oh, we had those symbols!
I traced the sign of the eel across the marks, exactly as I learned how to do in the Libraris Apocrypha. There was a faint click, and the next thing I knew, there was a passageway under the stage.
What? It's so dark! Oh my god. That's a lot of stairs. And then we walked for 5 days? And eventually we were here. Well, this is a place. Looks nice. Hey, Craigery.
The passageway led into a dark and ominous vault. The whole sepulchral temple seemed to be formed from curves and angles that would give geometry teachers nightmares. The centerpiece to this disturbing chamber was a stone altar, engraved with a map of the Circle Sea. It looked centuries old, the kind of altar that could tell a few tales if it could talk. I was glad it couldn't.
Okay, I think I'm supposed to use that other symbol here. Just because it looks exactly the same.
Using the map, I worked out where each of the 8 great tragedies had taken place. They made an octagram around the edge, just like the counterweight killings did in Ankh-Morpork. I could match each of the tragedies to one of the murders, and the positions corresponded precisely. I knew that someone was going to get dragged to death from the Wizard's Pleasance, and that some unlucky fellow was going to get eaten in Dagon Street. I had a feeling I knew what had bothered me about the bone in the fish bar now. It was a human femur. That meant there was only one murder to go, and that it would take place at the Wizard's Pleasance.
Alrighty then! Let's go! Let's get out of here! Now we can probably hide in the bushes. What do you think?
I doubled back on myself, trying to get a good look at the dwarf who was following me. It was Al-Khali. I slipped away into the streets before he realized I'd spotted him.
Hide in these bushes. Let's go!
I didn't know how long I'd have to wait until something happened, but it turned out to be less than I thought. I'd suspected I'd been being followed, and I wasn't surprised to find that Al-Khali was skulking around behind me. Gods alone knows how he got into the university. But if I could do it, I guess anyone could.
Kick his ass. Or maybe don't kick his ass. I don't know how we're hiding. What happened?
It was over in seconds.
I thought we were gonna prevent the murder. Instead, we let it happen? The heck?
I was about to follow the killer's trail when I saw a familiar face.
Well.
Why did you carry on with the case, Lewton?
Too many people told me to stop.
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this. I like you, Lewton. It didn't have to be this way.
So you're behind this, are you?
I'm just a servant. My master, Anu, is behind this.
That beast is Mooncalf's god?
Mooncalf didn't start this cult. I did. When the last human worshippers of Anu had passed on, leaving only an empty temple in their wake, the cult lived on among the lycanthropes. My late husband got me involved, and I came back to Ankh-Morpork to arrange everything.
Came back?
I thought you'd realize, Lewton. I'm Therma.
It figures. You killed Malachite, didn't you?
I didn't kill any of them. My master did that. We just arranged everything for him. He's stronger when we gather together.
So you basically killed him.
You were in the Temple of Small Gods each time there was a murder.
It was a perfect alibi.
Why was Malachite looking for you?
I'm his sister.
His sister? Hands up who can spot the big problem here.
I was adopted by Mr. and Mrs. Karst. They named me Therma. And Malachite and I grew up together.
What happened?
It's a tough life when you're a poor troll. And tougher still when you weren't born a troll. I used to sit at the table eating bread, while the rest of the family was chewing cold sandwiches. That kind of thing leaves its mark on a girl.
My heart bleeds.
Yeah, I know, right?
Malachite and I broke into the von
And a
Uberwald
murder.
mansion and made off with some of the Count's valuables, including that pendant you've been carrying around.
And that jeweled box in the carriage that presumably held the asp that poisoned Reagan.
That's right.
How did you and Malachite get separated?
He got caught, but he didn't tell the watch about me. I thought I'd seen the last of him. I sold most of what I got, and I was living off it comfortably. But I'd seen that painting in the hallway.
So you killed your
Got me
brother?
thinking.
The painting that looks
Oh,
like you.
man.
Exactly. I reinvented myself as a debutante, and I seduced Ulrich and married into high society. I went back to Uberwald with him, changed my name to Carlotta, and my life as a troll was forgotten. Therma was dead. Long live Carlotta von Uberwald.
Did you know Ulrich was a werewolf?
Not until the honeymoon. That was a surprise, I can tell you. Not entirely an unpleasant one, I have to say.
How did you get involved in this cult business?
Before he died, Ulrich inducted me into the worship of Anu, and it became my mission to engineer his return to power. I recruited followers and we prayed to him, gradually awakening his consciousness. He'd been stuck in the form of a small dog on the streets of Al-Khali for decades, not even remembering who he was. As our numbers grew, Anu's power grew, and eventually he was able to slip aboard a ship and steal his way here to Ankh-Morpork.
The Milka.
That's right. The Milka also stopped off at Sort, where it picked up Mundi. He was supposed to be bringing us the Sortese Fallschirm, having stolen it from a dig at Sorta. The archaeologists didn't even know it was there. Unfortunately, what we hadn't counted on was that Mundi was a man with few scruples.
She's telling me
and
all
even
her
less
plans.
brains to go with it. Either he approached Horst, or Horst approached him. One way or another, he arranged to sell the sword to that devious troll.
Only he didn't have the sword, did he? He'd concealed it in one of the crates in the cargo hold.
We didn't know that. We just knew that Mundi had gone to ground. That's why I hired you to find him.
And when I did, your cult killed him. Only you'd expected the sword to be with him. And by the time he was dead, it was too late to ask him where he'd put it.
We couldn't believe our luck when you found the sword for us after Mundi's death. I'm sorry that my master had to stab you to get it.
Did you know I was going to get killed? Was that why you made me into a werewolf?
I suspected that things would get a little rough for you, and I believed you were too valuable an asset to waste.
I'm flattered. And the counterweight killings were your cult attempting to summon Nyarlathotep by mimicking the way he was summoned before. I don't get it.
With the Falchion, my master can defeat the laddering horror again, and he will grow in power, ascending to the ranks of the most powerful gods, where he belongs.
That's all very well, but a lot of people died for that dream. You can't just go around killing people whenever the notion strikes you. It's not polite.
What are the lives of a few people against the prize?
Reagan knew, didn't he? Or at least suspected.
I don't know what he actually knew, but he suspected a lot. He'd been blackmailing me for weeks.
The envelope in his locker. He said he had evidence, didn't he?
I didn't know it was empty. He said he had proof, and he knew enough that I couldn't take any chances. He had to go.
Why are you telling me all this?
It's customary for the villain to explain his evil schemes when the hero is captured.
I'm no hero, and you're no villain.
Yeah, there you go. The
We're just
cliche.
people.
You know it's not too late, Lewton. Join us.
Join your cult.
Join
What happens
us!
if I refuse?
There's no point in refusing.
Join
It's already
us!
too late to stop the summoning of Nyarlathotep. Al-Khali was the 8th murder. Even now, the other cultists are gathering at the focal point for the invocation.
That would be the temple under the Disc Theater, I take it.
You're good. I'll give you that. Let's go, or we'll miss the pre-summoning.
What if I try to stop you?
Like I said, it's already too late for that. Join us, Lewton. You know it's the only choice.
I could kill you and make a run for it.
You wouldn't hurt me, would you, Lewton? After all we've been through.
Yes.
You arranged the murder of your
I
own
would.
brother, and you'd have me killed too if I got in the way.
So what? In this world, you get one chance at happiness.
You may be right. All right. I'll go along with this for now. But I'm not making any promises for the future.
I
That's
feel like
good
we
enough
could just
for me.
shove everybody off the
Carlotta
edge of
told
that
me she would
disc.
have to
Look at that
bind me.
thing.
In case I got any foolish ideas. And then she escorted me into the depths of the temple. It looked like the whole crowd was there. As well as Carlotta, I recognized Mooncalf and Warb, the wizard from Saturnalia. 8 of them in all. 1 for each person on the list. But my attention was drawn to the hulking mass of Anu Anu, and the golden sword that he was wielding like it was a toothpick.
It begins.
Take your places, people. Everyone remember your lines.
Oh, Anu was doing the
Who
killing.
summoned thee? In accordance with the ancient pacts, we have made 8 sacrifices in the manner prescribed. Come to us.
I was filled with an overwhelming sensation of dread. I guess summoning rituals have that effect on me.
It is here. Now I command you, by the power of the fashion,
I hope it doesn't work.
to bend to my will.
Like,
Bend
I
to
really
my
do.
will, I command thee. I hold the fashion. You will obey me.
I got the impression that that wasn't supposed to happen. The next thing I knew, the temple was coming apart at the seams, and rocks were falling everywhere. I don't know what was wrong, but it seemed as if Anu Anu couldn't control the unspeakable force of cosmic horror that he had unleashed, and now it was loose in the city.
Well,
As if my day wasn't bad.
that was
enough
one way of failing. That's not the way of failing that I was hoping for, but I mean, that's what I
After the
thought
rubble
was
had
going to
settled, I
happen.
pulled myself out from under it and had a look around. The temple seemed different somehow. And not just because the roof had caved in. Anu Anu was lying in a crumpled heap on the other side of the chamber, and Carlotta was tending to his wounds. The rest of the cult had made their getaway. Everyone but Warb, whose luck had taken a permanent turn for the worse.
Well, you guys fucked up, didn't ya? When did you realize that you had fucked up? Huh? Was it when Anu Anu was basically killed? Was it when did you realize this? Anyway, I'm gonna save. Oops. Oops. All. God. All. Dead cultists. Oops, all dead cultists. There we go. That's a good name. There we go. Alright. Hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm unbound. That's nice.
Come on, Carlotta. Let's get out of here before the rest of the roof comes down.
I'm not leaving my master.
He's not going to make it. You can at least save yourself.
Leave us, Lewton. Leave!
I tried to listen in to what Anu was saying, but his voice was weak and faltering.
I should have known. The inscription. I forgot the inscription.
Quiet, master. Conserve your strength.
What a dingus. Let's check Warb.
The only thing of interest on Warb's body was the charm bracelet, and I didn't want to take that back. I only hope he got some good luck out of it before his final...
A Warb!
Maybe I should have warned him. Maybe he got what he deserved. Who was I to judge?
Oh, that's why death is here.
I searched the rubble and uncovered the golden falchion. The sword was bad luck, but I had a feeling it was safer in my hands than anyone else's.
Yoink! I got me a golden sword. Oh yeah.
An inscription had appeared on the wall.
Yoink!
Maybe it had been there all the time, and I just couldn't read it. I wasn't sure. It seemed to say, Quod nescient eos interficit. I didn't know what it meant. Quad meant what, but that was all I knew.
But I wrote it down. Oh yeah. Alright.
There was something about the walls that I didn't like. I think it was the way they wouldn't stop swimming.
How do I get out of here? This way. Okay, have I looked at everything now? I actually found a sword, so that's good. Am I gonna kill... Whoa. What's going on up here?
What's up with you?
Broke my stupid leg when the roof came in.
Which one are you?
What?
You must be Coom.
How did you know that?
I recognize your voice. Now give me one good reason why I shouldn't turn you over to the Watch.
Please, don't. I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. It was just a little fun, you know? Secret meetings and plots for world domination. I mean, it's intoxicating.
Well, now it's blown up in your face, and at least one member of your cult is dead.
Who was it?
Warb. He had a disagreement with a large block of stone.
I don't want to do... I'm terrified. I suspect that some of the cultists might have wanted us to fail.
Really? Why?
I don't know. Just a hunch. Please don't turn me over to the Watch. I didn't do anything wrong.
8 people died because of your cult.
No. I'm sorry. I should never have got involved.
Where have the others gone?
I don't know. Back to the sanctuary, I guess. They didn't really tell me much. I was only the novice.
Maybe I was getting soft in my old age, but I couldn't escape the feeling that the poor fool was just a victim of peer pressure. I guess he just wanted to belong to something, and he didn't much care what. I sympathized. In my own way. Get going. I don't ever want to see you again.
Oh, thank you.
I don't ever want to see you again.
Won't regret this.
I'd better not.
Alright, it doesn't look like there's anything in here, so let's just leave. Wait, have I saved? Yeah, I saved. Stage. Go that way.
The stage, where performers go up in front of a drunken crowd and sell their dignity to earn enough money to barely live on. It made me think that all the discs a stage and all the people players. Unfortunately, I felt like I'd been cast as an extra in my own life story.
Maybe it was only slightly broken leg. You know, it wasn't all the way broken. It was just a little bit broken. Right? Whoa! What's up with the city?
I have a feeling some bad stuff is about to go down.
I think it's already gone down. I don't think it's about to go down. I think it's already gone down. Oh no.
When I went back to the mansion, the butler had some grim news for me. The Count had shuffled off his mortal coil in the recent disc-quake. He was sleeping the big sleep, pushing up daisies, crossing the final frontier, booking a vacation to the underworld. Basically, he was dead. Fortunately, he'd left provisions for me in his will. He'd pay my way to the end of the case, and more importantly, he was allowing me to continue to use the library. Well, what did it matter to him who used the library now he was gone? When you're dead, you were sleeping the big sleep. Nothing much mattered to you anymore. All the nastiness was behind you. For the rest of us, the nastiness was still all around us. And if I didn't stop that nastiness from crushing us all under its tentacles, we'd all be sleeping the big sleep. Frankly, I didn't think the afterlife would have enough beds.
Okay, we can use the library. That's good, because I wanted to use the library. So it's good I can use the library. Hey, Dr. Loomis.
I could mess up the filing system.
What am I doing? Stop it! Stop doing that to the cards! Lewton, what are you doing?
The books were all neatly indexed by a vast series of cards in a wooden case. It looked like the von Uberwalds were using an ancient version of Huey's octal system of indexing. It was complicated, but I reckoned I could at least use it to find out what books they had on a particular subject, and then wander around until I saw a bookshelf.
I think it's
with the right
almost
number on
over.
it.
I think we're getting close. I think we might actually be getting close, but I've said that before.
I had a look through the Necrotelecomnicon discussed for students to see if I could find any more useful information. It wasn't long before I found the phrase that had been inscribed on the wall of the sepulchral temple, Quod nescient eos interficit. It turned out to be the motto of an ancient cult, the dark sect of Nylonathotep, whose emblem was the triple-lobed eye. The tome told me a little of the history of the cult. It seems the mad cultists of the laddering horror had conspired to destroy all creation, but their attempt failed, obviously, and they were believed to have faded into obscurity. I had a suspicion that's exactly what the cult wanted people to think. According to the book, the cult had a sacred artifact, a source of great power known as the Radiant Trapezohedron, which could destroy Nylonathotep or give him dominion over all things, if it fell into his tentacles. There was no description of it, although the author seemed to think it was something small. There was something about a cult plotting to destroy all creation that disturbed me. I had a feeling you couldn't reason with people like that.
What's a trapezohedron? What shape is that? I guess we can look it up, maybe we can look it up. See if we can look it up.
I looked for another reference to the Radiant Trapezohedron and found it in the Encyclopedia Tennius. Apparently, 400 years ago, the Order of the Sacred Tulip swore to find the trapezohedron and prevent it from falling into the hands of the Dark Sect. Legend had it that one knight swore to never rest until he was sure it could never fall into the hands of the Dark Sect. According to the encyclopedia, he eventually found the trapezohedron and brought it to Ankh-Morpork, where he was buried alongside it.
Interesting. Is that it? That's a hint, but not... We don't get a notebook entry. Would that be in the cemetery? Or what? Ah! Okay. Okay, I feel like we've done everything we can do here. Is this their hideout? Let's check their hideout. Let's check their hideout to see if there's anything here. Maybe there is.
I don't know exactly what I hoped to learn from the sanctuary, but I went anyway. Maybe I was hoping that all the cultists would be as easily intimidated as Coombe. I was wrong.
You're very sharp, Mr. Lewton. You've done a very sharp thing. Maybe even sharp enough to cut your own throat.
You must be Kondo.
I'm flattered. How did you know?
I recognize your voice. You tried to kill me with that crossbow once before.
It's silver-tipped before you get any heroic ideas. The dark sect isn't as sloppy as the cult of Anu.
A cult within a cult.
We couldn't believe our luck. Mooncarve and Therma were looking for people to join their cult, and they actually wanted to summon Nylonathotep. Can you believe that? Do you have any idea how rare it is that someone wants to summon the laddering horror for anything other than wreaking havoc and destruction?
Who's we?
Oh, no, it's not that easy. Do you think I'm the overconfident villain who reveals his whole plot to the hero shortly before placing you in an overly complex life or death situation that you then escape from at the last minute?
It might make life easier if you were.
Real life isn't like the clickies, Lewton. The good guys don't always win.
What makes you think I'm the good guy?
I don't care what side you're on, Lewton. All I care about is that we are victorious and that everything is destroyed.
I just don't understand why anyone would want to destroy the whole of creation. If you want to die, why not just kill yourself?
I'm going to achieve something with my life, Lewton. Something that no one will ever forget.
Everyone's going to be dead. No one is going to remember anything.
And that's an achievement no one else can claim.
You're insane.
That's what my psychiatrist said. I had to kill him too. He knew too much, just like you.
Some people say that when you're about to die, your life flashes before your eyes. For me, the world seemed to go into slow motion.
I told you, Lewton, the good guys don't always win.
Very true, but they try much harder.
I'm dead, aren't I? Am I going to spend eternity suffering in the pits of hell for what I've done?
If that's what you want.
Oh, I can't believe I'm not going to find out how all this ends after all the work I put into it.
It's never fun being taken off a project you've worked hard on.
That's the last time I get so involved in my work.
How right you are.
When I came to, I wasn't sure if I was dead or alive. That seemed to be happening to me a lot.
Hello again.
Have you come for me?
No. I was just passing through and I thought it would be polite to say hello. Isn't that what you're supposed to do with acquaintances?
If you want to scare them to death.
Sorry. I'm not good in social situations.
It must be hard to
The
fit
world
in when you're a
is the
7-foot
disc.
tall skeleton with a scythe.
See?
I'll see you later.
That doesn't fill me with confidence.
That, I'm afraid, is your problem.
The world is a disc that is on a turtle that is going through space. That's what Discworld is. We experienced that in the first game, at least. We went off we saw the turtle. Yeah. Yeah. What's going on? Why is it loading? What happened? Oh. He's dead. What happened to him?
I'd killed Kondo, but at least he hadn't killed me.
Oh, I did it.
On Kondo's body was an amulet. It had to be worth finding out what it was, so I took it.
It looks like a propeller. Okay. Interesting.
A corpse is a corpse, whichever way you look at it.
It does kind of look like a fidget spinner. That is true. Hey, Formal. How's it going? Alright, what do we do now? Doesn't seem useful, doesn't seem useful, doesn't seem useful. Doesn't seem useful. Let's go here. This could be useful.
The Temple of Small Gods seemed deserted when I returned there. I could hear mad laughter echoing inside. Mooncalf? Is that you?
Leave this place. Begone. All are cursed. All will be destroyed.
It was Mooncalf, all right. What happened, Mooncalf?
Mother was right. I should have become a tax collector. It's good money, Mooncalf, she said. Better than you learn with that cult foolishness. You've got to provide for your future. Now look at me. I have no future.
None of us have a future unless we can stop Nylon Athatep.
Don't say that name. Don't say that name.
Nylon Athatep. Nylon Athatep. Nylon Athatep. Blah, 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 blah.
Can you tell me anything about the Radiant Trapezohedron?
They always hated me. Even as a child. They never liked me.
About the Trapezohedron.
They always ruined my plans. They never liked me. Nobody likes me.
I was hoping for something a little less personal and a little more useful, Mooncalf.
I haven't read any of the books, although the game has made me kind of want to read the books, but I have so many books on my backlog that I've read none of them.
I do not wish to...
I'll leave. This amulet is the mark of that entity that you and your cult summoned. I found it on Kondo's body. Does it mean anything to you?
It means that Kondo is a traitor. He won't be the only one. They all hate me.
Yeah, because you're very hateable.
I have the sword.
Put it away!
That wasn't the response I was expecting.
This guy is,
I need to know where to find the rest of the cult. Where can I find them?
Dead. All dead.
They're not all dead. I've already seen Carlotta and Kuma. They're alive. I saw Kondo, too. He, sends his regards.
Must have been traitors. Traitors from within. Sabotage. We've been betrayed. All is lost. Mother! I want to go home. Now. I'm frightened. Take me home. Please.
Who? Who were the traitors?
No, that's cool.
Please take me home.
Usually a quick read. I like audiobooks. I tend to do audiobooks, and I really like audiobooks.
Kondo wasn't a follower of Anu Anu at all. He worships the laddering horror. I think he might have been mad.
Madness. Yes. Sweet singing in my ears.
Seems to be fashionable at the moment. Now listen to me. I need to know who else might have been a double agent.
Who? Who? I'll tell you who. They all hated me. Especially Foyd.
Foyd? The troll?
Yes, the troll. I never liked him. I don't trust trolls.
Where is he now?
How would I know? He wouldn't tell me. He never liked me. Nobody liked me.
Did he say anything to you?
He said he was going to change his identity, make a run for it. Such a coward. Stupid troll.
What about the rest of the cult? Where can I find them?
It's too late for everyone. Nothing can save us now.
Where's your faith? Don't you believe that Anu Anu is the god of gods?
No! I renounce my faith. Anu Anu betrayed me. He betrayed me!
Okay, dude. Whatever. It's loading right now, just to let you know. Uh-oh. Well.
Mooncalf jumped screaming through the stained glass window and began to climb the temple. I could hear Mooncalf ranting as he climbed up the outside of the temple.
I give my faith to one God, and it brings about the destruction of everything.
How is he doing?
Gods are nothing but trouble.
How is he doing this climbing? He's like Spider-Man.
You can't trust them. You can't trust them. We don't need them. They need us more than we need them.
Look at his Spider-Man ways.
I'm letting atheism into my heart as my savior. I am a born-again atheist.
Oh, he's climbing with his beard. All right, that makes way more sense.
I renounce all gods. Oh, I can't believe I survived that fall.
You didn't.
Your death, then.
You've heard of me? I'm flattered.
Oh, what were the odds that I'd get hit by lightning just as I renounced all gods?
About 1 to 1, I'd say. You're not the first. Although I think you're the first to do it from the top of their own temple. Full marks for style.
Thank you, I think.
Don't mention it. I try to make the process as enjoyable as possible.
So what happens next?
That depends on you. But you've renounced all the gods, so I doubt you'll be off to any of the heavens. Or hells, for that matter.
Well, what about reincarnation? I always liked the sound of that.
Well, it's not really up to me. But if you do come back, can I advise you to be careful what you say on the top of religious monuments?
I'll see what I can do. Do you know, I don't feel so, I don't know, so dedicated anymore.
Death gives you a whole new perspective on life.
I should never have become a zealot. My mother was right. I should have been a tax collector.
Perhaps in the next lifetime, eh?
Say what you like about Mooncalf. He knew how to put on a show. Unfortunately, he hadn't left me with many leads, although finding Foyd wasn't a bad idea. I had already a lot of practice getting information out of trolls. All I had to do was work out where he was.